Hey there, welcome to Techie Tip Tuesday. This week I'm going to share with you the second video on Snapseed. There's just so much in this app and I can't wait to share with you some further stuff for you to play with this week. So let's go ahead and open up Snapseed and import what photo you would like. So hit that left button with the camera and the plus. Hit wherever your photos are. Mine are stored in my camera roll. I'm going to show you how I created that shadow image that I shared with you in yesterday's email. So there's the original picture. As you can see, it looks nothing like the one I shared. Hit use, and let's pick the shadow out. So down below, as you scroll left and right, you see all of the options. And we're going to hit details. And so what comes up is sharpening. So I'm going to scroll all the way right. This really brings out all of the little details in the image. It didn't do a whole lot there, maybe just a touch. And if you hold on the screen and slide upwards, you get the structure. And watch what happens as I scroll to the right. So I'm going to make that structure all the way to 100 so you can see the texture and the pavement way come out. You can see the shadow really begin to pop and the leaves in that center shadow really begin to brighten. We're going to hit that right arrow key that indicates that I would like this to happen. All right, let's see what else I did here. I believe I went to Toon Image and fussed with the color. Here, since we're working in shadows and light and dark, here I darkened it. So I'm going to scroll left on the brightness all the way down. Again, hold on the screen. See what happens when I play with the ambiance a bit. I'm going to do a little contrast. The contrast is always great for shadows. See how it just darkens it up immediately? Go up another one, and saturation is one that will really bring out the reds. All right, so you can see it looks a whole lot different from the original. And to see what it looks like, you can hit that right top button that looks like it has like mountains on it to give you that. So I'm going to hit the right arrow button, and there we go. So the detail, I don't think we covered that last week, and I believe I grunged this out. So there's a whole category in one of the squares. Let's hit grunge. Now I use the grunge app pretty frequently, but I use it frequently but sparingly, and I always like to make sure it really enhances the feel that I want for this. So it'll just take me a few to play around to see what actually went on here. As you scroll left or right, you get all sorts of different images. So if you play with moving all the way to the left, you'll get a whole host of varying options. Mine was somewhere around like 1,000 or so. I'm going to start here, and you see how it adds a little bit of texture onto it. So I was going for a little bit of a magical feel with this. So I wanted a little texture in the background there. Same thing here. If you hold on the screen, you get lots more options. So let's hit brightness and see what happens. I think maybe I'll try. Now it's a little bit too dark, so I'm going to scroll to the right, and I'm just going to play here for a minute. So let's see what happens. The brightness didn't really give me what I did to this picture. I have to kind of remember. I bet the text, the contrast. Let's hit that. Always a good thing in a shadow picture to throw in there. I'm going to go right to saturation. This is going to add a whole, but there we go. That's going to add all of the color, that the reds and oranges and yellow, that kind of fiery effect that I was looking for in this picture. Awesome. Okay, so that's what I did. Great. So you can play with your image and just know that the saturation is going to throw a whole lot more color in it. And then texture strength. If you slide to the right to give it more, see it adds in all of the background texture. So you could make it really, really highly dosed with that texture. Or if you slide to the right, it makes it a little bit more subtle, which is what I'm going to go for here. Just a little bit of that. All right, so that looks like what I had. And if you notice, just to play with, this next to that saturation 100 where it says right to the left of that, if you hit that, that gives you, again, just lots more options to play with. And then to the right of that, this gives you all different texture patterns. So this one looks like that. That looks kind of cool. It's like almost like glass or something. And then with each of these, you can adjust the amount by scrolling left or right on the screen. I'm going to go back to the original one or something like that. And I'm going to leave you with that right there. Hit the right arrow to say yes, you want that. I'm going to say that that's perfect and what I wanted to achieve with that image. So I'm going to hit the top right arrow button and save it to my photo library. Nice. There's one more image that I want to share with you. Maybe you can get a little extra insight on it. So I'm going to grab this other photo, hit use. This is also a grunge effect that I used for this image, but I think it's really worth sharing. So I'll show you again. So I'm going to hit the grunge. And I just love the way the grunge for this really does add to the shadowy effect that I'm looking for this week. So I have that to start. Hold on the screen to get all of the options. So I'm going to work with the brightness. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to darken it a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of just the silhouette that I want. Again, just scroll up, contrast. That's not what I want. I'm going to move left and get a look that I like. Again, right on the screen. I'm going to skip down to saturation. This is where a bit of the color comes in, or it should come in. Where'd it go? Let me try the texture strength. This is giving me a much more textured background. And so I'm going to play with that. You can hit on the right to see the type of pattern you want for that backdrop. Hitting all of them, just see what you like. I'm going to stick with the first one. Then I'm going to hit that right arrow. And then let me see, I think I hit tune image. And in the image that I did, I think I had a little bit of red. Let me see if I can share with you how I got that in there. I bet it's in saturation. There we go. Just pulling in a little deep yellow. Hit the ambiance. There we go. I'm like lighting it up like on fire. And then I'm going to tone down the darkness a little bit. The ambiance. And the white balance. There we go. That's getting a little bit more of the red that I was looking for in there. And that makes for some really interesting shadows as well. Hit the right arrow. And let's give you another feature to work with that we haven't touched on yet. So down on the bottom, go to center focus. So see this little circle here? If you click on it, it gives you a circle that you can adjust where you want the focus to be. And so within that circle, if you click off of it and then hold on the screen, it gives you these options of blur strength, outer brightness, and inner brightness. So within that circle, you can choose you can choose the variance of lightness or darkness. So I'm going to go to the outer brightness, which I like to do in these types of images, and I like to bring the darkness from the outer. It's almost like a little vignette or something. And then if you could try brightening the inside if you like. And again, just gives you a little bit of a different feel, all lit up from the inside and darkened on the outside. And it also gives you a blur that you could use, so it blurs what's on the outside. If you hit the button on the right, what happens? Nothing. If you hit the button on the left, it gives you a little bit more options. Portrait 2, vignette, blur, old lens. I'm going to keep it on portrait 1, and I'm going to hit the right button to say OK. If you want to adjust the size of that circle or where the focus is, double tap on the screen. Oh no, that shows you the original, and that shows you the edited version. Hey Jeff, how do you get the...
You need to go back to your center focus.
Okay, so go back to the center focus. And then you can just move it. See that blue thingamajiggy moving all around? And then it's showing you can see it lighten and darken. You can open it up with just a pinch zoom to adjust and see what difference that makes for you. It's not a whole lot on this one, but what you could do is you could move say if we moved the focus down here to the corner, you could see what sort of different feel, if any, that gives you. And this does certainly give